Check your forecast. Now, typically when you go to bed, you expect those temperatures to drop, right? It's not going to be the case tonight. We go to warm front. That's the same old front that has just caused us a lot of issues this week. We're about to push it on out of the area. But before we do that, it's going to be lifting towards the north overnight tonight. There is still some questions with regards to how far north that dude can make it. Assuming it makes it to the state line, I'll tell you it's going to be mild when you wake up tomorrow morning. Strong southerly winds pushing those temperatures up. As the first part of tomorrow is going to be warm, but that front, the big cold front, finally clears the area. This is noon tomorrow. We're falling in Benton County. Meanwhile, we're in the upper 60s, low 70s in the River Valley. By certainly the second half of the day tomorrow, those temperatures are really going to be dropping going into Sunday. Now, some of the new information that we've been noticing today is that front could kick up a few scattered showers. I think this one model may actually be underdoing it just a little bit, so it wouldn't hurt to have the rain gear out there tomorrow. I wouldn't expect a deluge of rain by any stretch of the imagination. Going into Sunday, especially early in the morning, we'll notice a few scattered showers, maybe some drizzle out there, but notice this. What is that white? What is that pink? Well, that very well could be some freezing drizzle, maybe even a few pellets of sleet early in the day. That's going to push on out of the area by, let's say, lunchtime. Not much of a concern for us. Our two rounds of main concern arrive early next week. The first is Monday into Tuesday. Second one is here on Wednesday. For this first batch of winter precipitation, I think it's most likely to impact higher elevations of the Ozarks. Light icing is possible. Meanwhile, in the River Valley, those of us there, probably going to be dealing with the cold rain. By Wednesday, however, temperatures are a little bit colder. That cold air pushing a little bit further towards the south, and that puts the River Valley, at least parts of it, into play with sleet, ice, maybe even a little bit of freezing rain. This Wednesday system appears to be the most impactful. We'll get to that. Let's talk about the first one first. So Monday morning, 7 a.m., rain to the south. Temperatures likely going to be above freezing the first half of the day. Rain continues pushing towards the north. Temperatures are marginally at or slightly below freezing, and if not, only by a degree or two. When I tell you the margin of error is razor thin, this is what's keeping me up at night. Difference between a cold rain at 33 degrees versus an ice storm at 31 is razor thin. And that's kind of the situation we're dealing with here. This is Monday evening. This likely continues overnight for the higher elevations of the Ozarks. I'm really thinking Madison, Carroll, parts of Benton and Washington County. Although the further west you go, I've got more questions. That runs through Tuesday. We'll get a break the second half of Tuesday, and then that next round likely moves in on Wednesday. This is where we're going to have the highest potential of icing with round number one. I really think it's going to be Carroll and Madison, but there very well could be a light glaze develop in the urban areas of Washington and Benton County, even as far south as the Ozarks, the Boston Mountains, and Franklin and Johnson County. Still some uncertainty with regards to that. By Wednesday, early in the day, more precipitation moving in, colder air already in the area, so yet again we're looking at a very similar area, but what we'll notice is what is initially a cold rain in the River Valley may very well initially by the middle part of the day transition over into a mix, while the Northwest Arkansas region probably transitions over into a bit of snow as that temperature profile continues to drop. What's the difference between freezing rain and sleet? Here's an analogy for you. Freezing rain, like a glazed donut, it falls as liquid, it coats everything or glazes everything it touches with ice. That's where you get power outages. I'll tell you, freezing rain is no good at all. Sleet, well, yeah, it can cause some travel impacts. Very rarely does that result in power outages. You can think of it like a sprinkled donut. You want donuts now, and it's bedtime, isn't it? I'm sorry. 62. The looks can be deceiving, though. While that is the high tomorrow, no, that's going to be early in the day. Temperatures slowly dropping by Sunday. Slight chance of rain, maybe even a little bit of freezing drizzle on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are going to be weather impact alert days by tomorrow, assuming trends continue to hold. I've not pulled the trigger on it yet. I do anticipate doing it by early tomorrow morning. In the River Valley, that weather impact alert likely goes into effect for Wednesday, given the temperatures there closer to the freezing mark. One of the things we know, Alexandra, that is a real problem and makes this forecast so tricky. These weather models have historically underestimated how far south cold Arctic air can go up until the point when the event starts. So while our models right now are telling us in places that we might be a degree or two above it, I have a lot of concern that maybe it won't actually be that warm.
Oh, okay. We'll see what happens. And if anyone is going to the grocery store to stock up, they're going to now go get donuts.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome.
They look so good.